Hi everybody, welcome to 5 Minute Ministries. Today's little sin is judgmentalism or criticism, and the definition is having or displaying an excessively critical point of view, or indicate the faults of someone or something in a disapproving way. But there is a biblical definition, and it's determining someone's motives or attitudes based on assumption. I want you to keep these things in mind as we go through this lesson today. Why do we pass judgment? Well, a lot of the times it's because we don't like something. And I'm not talking about a matter of right and wrong. I'm talking about a matter of preference. I don't like this style of music. I don't like that style of clothing. I don't like that type of vehicle. I don't like this type of whatever it may be. And we pass judgment on that person because we don't like something. You can reference Matthew 9, verses 10 and 11. We pass judgment because we feel superior in a certain subject or situation. John chapter 8, verses 30 to 40 is a good example of that. Sometimes we think we're more knowledgeable or we're better at something, and we will criticize the people who try to match our level, quote unquote, and judge them when they can't do it. Sometimes we pass judgment because we are jealous or bitter. Now, I talked about bitterness last time, and you can see where passing judgment comes in and being a critical person comes in. But jealousy plays that part too. They're better than us at something, and so we will take our time to try to tear that person down. We want others to look smaller. And what I mean by that is we have somebody who's superior to us, and it's not just about jealousy. We just want to bring that person down because we don't think they're as good as they think they are. So we will find every fault we possibly can. And of course, we pass judgment because we lack information. We are ignorant, whether willfully or we just didn't end up with all the facts for some reason. And because we lack the information, we will pass judgment on something we don't know a whole lot about. So what are the effects of judgmentalism or criticism? Well, one, it causes self-righteousness. When we think we're better than someone or we continually tear others down, we will certainly look for ways to build ourselves up. We lose compassion for others. If we're constantly judging and criticizing others, when something really bad happens to them, we don't feel bad. In fact, we're gleeful that terrible things are happening to these people. We become gossips and busybodies. All we want to do is run around and talk about people, and we want to criticize them doing it. We want people to feed into that so they join our side. We will ignore the good. When you are judgmental about people, you don't look for any good. You're doing nothing but looking for faults. And we will become even more bitter and more angry when we continually criticize. It won't get any better. So, what do we do about it? First of all, we need to understand that we will be judged in the way that we judge. Matthew 7, verses 1 and 2. When Jesus says don't judge, he's not saying don't pass any judgment at all. He's giving a warning. In the manner that you judge, that is the manner in which you will be judged. So be careful how you judge. He didn't say don't judge to say don't give any criticism at all, because sometimes there is constructive criticism and we need to pass judgment on certain things. But when we're questioning people's motives and doing things because of how we feel about it rather than truth, then we are in wrong in our judgmentalism. The second thing we need to do is get all of the facts. Make sure we have all the information before we pass judgment, or at least as much as we can get before we pass judgment. You want to prevent criticizing others and being judgmental? Look for the good in others. Don't constantly look for the faults. Look for where this person does well and succeeds, and look for things that are praiseworthy. Philippians 4:8. And number 4, this is number 4, judge with wisdom and at appropriate times. There is a time for judgment. We have this whole thing, a no shaming type society. Sometimes people need to be shamed because what they're doing is wrong and they shouldn't be doing it, and they need to be judged accordingly. And of course, We don't assume the motives of others. We don't say, well, that person does this because of this. That person just wants to look good in front of everybody. That person is bragging. That person is trying to flaunt whatever. We can't assume those things about people, because when we do, all we do is look for negative ways to tear people down. And we were never called to tear people down. We were called to build them up. This has been 5 Minute Ministries, and I'll see you next time.